Welcome to Homeless U.S. News.
In the dim streets of Los Angeles, survival throbs amid a drug haze like PCP, where dreams teeter between fame and despair, arriving bright but fading fast. Dubbed the City of Angels, Los Angeles glitters with Hollywood lights, million-dollar mansions, and the endless hum of ambition. Yet beneath that glow lies a brutal irony. The same city that sells dreams to the world also shelters one of America's largest homeless populations. Just blocks from the Walk of Fame, Skid Row holds 4,000 to 6,000 unhoused residents within a 50-block radius, forming the nation's densest concentration of homelessness. Every tent tells a story of endurance. Every shadow hides a dream deferred. In 2025, over 72,000 Angelenos faced homelessness nightly, a number that speaks not of weakness, but of survival. Through Homeless Us News, we uncover these hidden truths, voices of pain, resilience, and humanity fighting to be seen in a city that too often looks away. Personal Reflections: The Human Heart of the Crisis. There's something haunting about walking through Los Angeles at dusk. The light fading behind glass towers while, just blocks away, people curl beneath blankets that barely hold off the night. You start to realize this city is a living contradiction. Wealth and poverty sharing the same sidewalk, hope and despair breathing the same air. Every face tells a story. Every glance carries years of struggle and small triumphs. These are not the homeless. They are fathers, daughters, dreamers, souls clinging to dignity in a world that keeps rushing past. One evening, I met Rosa, who sets up a small altar beside her tent every night, candles flickering for safety and for peace. Down the street, an old veteran named Sam fixes broken radios for others in the camp, saying it makes him feel useful again. Their stories stay with me longer than the statistics ever could. The 72,308 number feels almost meaningless beside Rosa's quiet prayers or Sam's worn hands. You start to see that homelessness isn't just a crisis, it's a mirror reflecting the cracks in our society's heart. The programs, Inside Safe, Measure HHH, are steps forward, but for those still waiting, progress feels painfully slow. And yet, amid that exhaustion, there's grace. A woman shares her sandwich with a stranger. A man hums a gospel tune that drifts through the tents. Somehow, in the hardest places, humanity burns brightest. To walk these streets is to understand that home isn't just a roof. It's being seen, being loved, being remembered. When we choose to care, to truly listen, we don't just change someone's life, we remind the city of its own soul. Future solutions for recovery. Los Angeles is entering a new phase in its effort to address homelessness, shifting from short-term fixes to lasting transformation. The newly formed LA County Department of Homeless Services and Housing unites fragmented programs into a cohesive system, boosting efficiency and transparency in resource distribution. At the same time, the Los Angeles County Affordable Housing Solutions Agency, La Caixa, accelerates affordable housing projects and tenant support initiatives, aiming to create tens of thousands of new homes annually. At the core of this strategy is Permanent Supportive Housing, PSH, pairing stable homes with full-spectrum care. The city expects to surpass its goal of 10,000 new units by 2026, ensuring that unhoused residents gain not just shelter, but a renewed path forward. Meanwhile, programs like Inside Safe and Pathway Home continue relocating hundreds from encampments into safe interim housing, where they receive medical, psychological, and job assistance. Statewide, Governor Newsom's Safe Task Force works with local governments to clear high-risk encampments and connect people to coordinated services. Although homelessness in Los Angeles fell by 4% in 2025, funding uncertainty threatens that progress. Measures such as Measure A are being implemented to secure stable financial support for these initiatives. Ultimately, the city's recovery isn't just about buildings or numbers. It's about restoring dignity, hope, and opportunity. It's about ensuring that every person not only finds a place to sleep tonight, but a reason to dream tomorrow. Community effects of homelessness. The threads of homelessness in Los Angeles touch not just those without walls, but the hearts of neighbors nearby, creating a symphony of shared emotions in homeless U.S. news. With Los's 2025 notes of a 9.5% easing in unsheltered lives countywide, yet tense lingering in Venice like quiet reminders, locals navigate a blend of concern and care. Businesses whisper of 10% lighter steps in tourist havens, per a July Rand glimpse, as boardwalk scenes stir thoughts on harmony and welcome. Sanitation dances a delicate balance, with Venice councils calling for cleanups wrapped in respect for all. In Hollywood's glow, amid the city's 43,699 stories, empathy blooms alongside hopes for safer gatherings, even as early 2025 fires pause the rhythm, stirring a collective sigh. But beauty arises. Volunteers bridge gaps with shared resources, fostering bonds that heal. The 4% dip brings breaths of relief, and programs like Pathway Home weave understanding into the everyday. These echoes aren't burdens, they're invitations to see each other truly, turning shared spaces into havens of mutual kindness. Turning toward brighter horizons of solutions, these community whispers inspire unity. How has a similar echo in your world sparked a moment of connection? In pondering these gentle impacts, I see that true community thrives on open hearts. By embracing our shared vulnerabilities, we build spaces where every neighbor feels seen and cherished. Substance use and its impacts. Amid the tender narratives of homeless U.S. news, the pull of substances like fentanyl tugs at the soul, not as a villain in a tale, but as a quiet companion to unspoken sorrows in Los Angeles. Fresh whispers from UCSF in 2025 reveal that fewer than half of those without homes turn to illicit paths regularly, yet methamphetamine lingers like an old friend in street-side whispers. More common than the opioids that surged since 2023, as a PBS chronicle from May paints with somber strokes. Picture a weary soul on Skid Row, reaching for relief from the echoes of unhealed hurts, or the grind of endless days, self-soothing that spirals into fogged minds and scattered thoughts, as outreach voices share in hushed tones. The aftermath? Not just personal storms of unease and isolation, but waves that touch families and friends, fraying bonds in Hollywood where 21% feel this grip, per the PIT count, and treatment waits stretch thin with scarcely 2,000 spots for 10 million hearts. But glimmers emerge. USC Street Medicine's gentle outreach has eased the hold by 16%, handing out tools of care that soften the edges of hardship. These ripples aren't cold facts, they're the human cost of overlooked cries for help, reminding us that every struggle deserves a compassionate ear. Now, as we lift our eyes to the beacons of nonprofits lighting the way, reflect on how these personal battles weave into our collective story. In what ways could a single act of understanding alter the course of someone's quiet fight? In my quiet reflections, these tales of entanglement reveal that recovery blooms from kindness. It's a gentle reminder that by offering safe harbors for healing, we restore not just lives, but the very essence of our shared humanity. 6. Role of nonprofits in support. Role of nonprofits in support. In the warm embrace of compassion that defines homeless U.S. news, nonprofits rise like steadfast friends, their hands extended in Los Angeles' most tender moments. The Los Angeles Mission, with hearts full, dished out over 500,000 nourishing meals in 2025, blending spiritual whispers with practical steps to mend weary spirits. Path's loving network has welcomed more than 8,000 into safe havens this year, crafting futures for families and veterans with homes that feel like home. The Dream Center's faith-filled arms have guided over 1,200 through transitions, igniting skills and dreams anew. Union Rescue Mission opens its doors to 1,500 each night, weaving workforce threads that rebuild confidence. Midnight Mission celebrates a 15% rise in journeys completed through their 12-step paths, offering counsel and care like family. Better Angels innovates with apps that connect willing hearts to immediate needs, while Weingart Center shelters 600 inches Skid Row, equipping them with tools for tomorrow. Hand in hand with Los's reach to 72,308 souls, they amplify waves like Inside Safe. And in Venice, youth programs have softened the edges by 1.7%. These aren't organizations, they're lifelines, pulsing with the humanity of volunteers who see the light in every eye. As we explore the gentle ripples on surrounding communities, let's cherish these acts of quiet heroism. Which nonprofit story has ever warmed your heart, and how might you join their chorus? From the depths of my own experiences, these champions remind us that change flows from unwavering care. By standing with them, we knit a fabric of support that holds us all a little closer. Hollywood dreams deferred on the Boulevard. In the heart of Los Angeles, Hollywood dazzles with fame yet hides a quieter truth behind its bright lights. Among the stars on the Walk of Fame lie encampments where dreams once golden now flicker in the dark. The 2025 count records part of the city's 43,699 unhoused residents, with a 15% drop in unsheltered individuals. Yet nearly 40% still sleep without even a tent. Inequality remains stark. Though black residents make up only 8% of the county, they represent 33% of Hollywood's homeless, a vivid reflection of deep social divides. Amid this harsh reality shines Elena, a once aspiring actress now volunteering at local meal programs. Her laughter lights up the lines of those waiting for food, even as her own nights are spent beneath the open sky. She still carries a faded script in her bag, a reminder of who she was and who she hopes to be again. When a USC street medicine team found her and connected her with counseling, that spark returned. Today, she mentors others in creative workshops, helping them rediscover purpose through art and empathy. Programs like Inside Safe have cleared encampments along Hollywood Boulevard, moving hundreds into shelters, while Measure HHH $1.2 billion bond funds permanent housing. Though progress remains slow, these combined efforts have contributed to a 17.5% citywide reduction in unsheltered homelessness, proof that steady action can change lives. Hollywood's story is a reminder that dreams never truly vanish, they transform. With compassion and persistence, even the streets of broken hopes can become the birthplace of new beginnings. Root causes of LA homelessness. Beneath the surface of Los Angeles's homelessness crisis lie intertwined factors that have built up over decades. As highlighted in the 2025 Greater Los Angeles Homeless Count by LAHSA, which notes a persistent affordable housing shortage of over 485,000 units amid rising median rents now averaging $2,950 monthly in key areas. Economic instability plays a central role, with job losses in sectors like hospitality and retail, exacerbated by post-pandemic shifts, pushing many into instability, per a July 2025 CalMatters analysis. Income inequality widens the gap, where low-wage workers earning around $15 hourly struggle against costs that have surged 20% since 2023, leaving little buffer for unexpected expenses. Systemic barriers, including limited access to education and vocational training, compound this, as a McKinsey report from early 2025 points out that educational attainment below high school levels correlates with higher homelessness risks in urban centers like LA. Mental health challenges affect about 22% of the unhoused, often stemming from inadequate community resources, while historical policies on zoning have restricted affordable developments, creating dense urban pockets of need. In neighborhoods like Skid Row, where population density reaches 10,000 per square mile, these pressures converge, drawing in those from rural areas seeking opportunities that evaporate. Yet, initiatives like the Skid Row Action Plan aim to address these by expanding access to supportive services. As we delve deeper, it's evident that tackling these roots requires holistic approaches beyond surface-level aid. Shifting from these foundational drivers to the intertwined issue of substance use, we see how personal struggles amplify broader vulnerabilities. What do you think contributes most to these economic pressures in your own community? From my perspective, understanding these root causes reminds us that homelessness isn't a personal failing but a societal one. By addressing inequality at its core, we empower individuals to reclaim stability and purpose. Substance use and its impacts. Skid Row, the epicenter of urban struggle. Beneath the glittering skyline of downtown Los Angeles lies Skid Row, a 50-block stretch home to an estimated 4,000 to 6,000 unhoused residents, one of the densest homeless populations in the nation. Around 70% live unsheltered, sleeping in tents, on sidewalks, or under doorways. The 2025 count reveals 22% struggle with severe mental health issues and 21% with substance use, showing a community in need of deep, consistent care. Skyrocketing rents, now averaging over $2,800 a month, push many low-wage workers dangerously close to losing their homes. Among Skid Row's faces is Maria, a former teacher whose life unraveled after unexpected hardships. Yet, instead of surrendering, she leads neighborhood cleanups, shares food, and spreads quiet hope. In a shelter library, rediscovering her love for books reignited her purpose, a small act that lit a spark not just for herself, but for those around her. Her story reminds us that even in the darkest places, compassion can bloom. Programs like Mayor Karen Bass's Inside Safe have cleared more than 100 encampments, helping reduce unsheltered homelessness by 9.5% across the county. Organizations like the Midnight Mission serve thousands daily with meals, counseling, and job training, building bridges back to stability. Still, Los Angeles faces a shortage of 485,000 affordable housing units and less than 2,000 treatment beds for 10 million people, proof that progress, while real, remains fragile. Skid Row stands as both a warning and a testament, a reminder that change begins with empathy. Every voice matters, and every story, like Maria's, holds the power to awaken our shared humanity. Venice Beach, contrasts by the sea. A few miles west, Venice Beach offers a vivid contrast, where the ocean's gentle waves meet the harsh realities of tent-lined boardwalks. This neighborhood, known for its artistic energy and tourist appeal, saw a 15% reduction in unsheltered individuals per the 2025 RAND report, with several hundred still calling vehicles or makeshift shelters home, drawn by the mild climate averaging 70 degrees year-round. Transitional youth aged 18 to 24 represent a fragile segment here, showing a 1.7% drop but remaining vulnerable, many as former foster kids navigating adulthood without a safety net. Here's another heartfelt tale that captures the essence of resilience amid uncertainty. If those stories touch something in you, hit subscribe so you never miss the real pulse of America. There's Jamal, a young artist who ended up in an RV along the oceanfront after aging out of the system. He channels his experiences into vibrant murals on discarded cardboard, turning personal pain into public inspiration that draws passersby into conversations about hope. One evening, Jamal connected with a volunteer over a shared sketch, leading to a mentorship that helped him secure part-time work, a small victory that echoes the potential in every overlooked talent. If those stories touch something in you, hit subscribe so you never miss the real pulse of America. Moving inland to the star-studded streets of Hollywood, we see how these coastal efforts inform broader strategies, emphasizing the importance of adaptability in addressing diverse needs. How might integrating art and community, as seen in Venice, help other areas foster recovery? Personally, stories from Venice remind me that beauty and hardship often coexist. By embracing both, we can cultivate environments where creativity becomes a pathway to healing for everyone involved. Conclusion: a path forward. Los Angeles stands at a fragile but hopeful turning point. The 4% drop in homelessness in 2025 may seem small, but behind that number are thousands of lives slowly finding their footing again. Teachers, veterans, artists, and families who just need a door to close behind them and a place to call their own. Yet progress means little if it fades. The true challenge now is not only to build housing, but to rebuild trust. Trust in our systems, in leadership, and in the power of community itself. Because ending homelessness isn't a construction plan, it's an act of humanity. To move forward, the city must see housing as healing. Every affordable home must come with care that runs deeper than walls, mental health support, addiction recovery, job training, and spaces that spark belonging. Imagine a Los Angeles where every building is more than concrete. It's a promise, a place where someone can rediscover purpose and peace. Programs like Inside Safe and Pathway Home have shown that empathy and action can coexist, but they must expand faster and reach farther, especially into neighborhoods too long ignored. Each delay isn't just lost time, it's another night someone spends on the cold pavement, another voice fading unheard. And then there's the heart of it all, the community. Real change begins when neighbors stop walking past tents and start asking names, when volunteers share meals, when artists turn pain into murals of hope, when families choose compassion over fear. Los Angeles becomes something greater than a city of dreams. It becomes a city of care. When 25 means anything, let it be the year Los Angeles remembered that home is more than a roof. It's safety, dignity, and being seen. Because when we build with compassion, we don't just end homelessness, we rebuild the humanity that binds us all together.